If you've always wanted to make art with CSS and didn't know where to start, this is the perfect video for you. If you stick around, I'll show you how you can make your very own piece of art with CSS and HTML. Let's get started. Thank you for joining me. This is Zach with ZachOS Tech, and today we'll be looking at how to make the WandaVision logo with HTML and CSS. Let's jump right into the code editor and get started. So here I have the HTML already written for you. It's really only about 20 lines of code that we need, and then the rest will take place in CSS. To get started, what you'll need is an extension called CodeSwing. So go ahead and install that, and then once you get that installed, press Control, Shift, and P and select Open Swing. And then you'll navigate to the project folder, hit select folder. It'll open the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript file, as well as a preview of what we're writing on the right-hand side here. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to close the JavaScript because we won't actually need that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is determine the size that the logo is going to be. I'm going off of this logo that I found on the internet, and I took a screenshot of it, and so I'm basing the size off of the dimensions of this logo. So by the end, I hope to have something that kind of resembles this written in just CSS. I'm going to make the size as 50, and then this will let you change it if you want to scale up or scale down the image. All right, so that's all we need to do to make our own unit, and then we can base the height of the container on that unit, and it'll be the exact same size as the image. I'm just going to make a couple CSS variables so that we can use them later on. All right, so now we have the entire background set to black. And the reason that we do this with the colors is so that we can go back, and if we wanted to change the color red to a darker red, then we can just change this one variable instead of having to go through and change every line that we used it on. And what we're going to use in just about every container or element that we create is height, width, left, and top. And then a border radius if we need it to not be a square or a rectangle. I'm going to use percentages for every value that I can so that it'll scale properly. And then I'm just going to copy all of these so that I can use them later. But one thing with the container that we want to do is set the height and the width based on the unit that we have up here. So we're going to do a calculation. It'll be calc 752 times var unit. Okay. And then another calc. Times var unit. Okay. And then another thing that we're going to need on this one specifically is position fixed. On a lot of the other ones, we're going to use a position absolute so that we can position it exactly where we want it to be on the screen. And then for the container, we want this to be left 50%, and then down from the top 50%. We'll make the background color. Let's give it a border of 12 pixels, solid red. Okay, so that kind of put it over my picture. So let's now do a transform and then translate negative 50% and 50%. Nope, negative 50% and then negative 50%. So that will be exactly right in the middle, and this is the size that our logo is going to fill once we're done making it. Okay, so now the next part that we're going to make is the mask. So let's do mask. Actually, I'm going to add one more to this. So I'm going to make absolute relative. And then okay, so let's do a height of 96. So I want to give it like a little bit of padding so that it's not right up on the border. 92.6. Okay, that looks right in the middle. And then I'm going to set this to 0.08. But actually, I don't want this to be green, so I'm going to set this to var background. So it's just going to be black. You're not going to see it. And then our next thing is mask bottom. So we're okay with, just while we're writing it, I'm going to leave it as test. No, I'll make it red right now. I want the width to be 100. And the height to be 75. So what we're going to try to do is make like an egg type shape that will be the whole mask, and then we'll cut out with the background color all of the insides, and then we'll do the same thing for the stone there. We got the bottom. Then we need to make the top part. I'll leave it test for now. All right. That's good. 0. I'll do 50%, 50%, 0, 0. There we go. Let's make this red now. All right. Okay. Height to be 100. And I'll make this the background color. Bottom rectangle 1. Okay, position there. Okay, that's good. And I'll give it a border radius 40%. All right, and then a trick that you can do to do the exact same thing on the opposite side is to copy, let's change this to 2, and then change left to right, and then it'll start coming in from the right instead of the left, and then we'll also set the rotate to -5. and then that's an exact mirror of the other one. So let's change these to background. There we go. That does it for that square. I'll make this background. And then what we can do is copy that, change to 4, switch this to left, and then change this to +10. Okay, and then I just did that right there. So cover, bottom, trapezoid. We're still on absolute, and the top we will make 83. I don't want to go off of right anymore. Everything else is going from the left, so we'll switch it back to left. Okay, make this 24. The width needs to be, let's do 52. Height of 7. Alright, so we're just going over this one more time, just so that we don't get the line on the bottom. So then to make this a trapezoid, we'll do a clip path, polygon. Okay, so we're basically like selecting the 4 corners by this clip path, and then it creates the trapezoid shape. If you can see it, it's very subtle. Actually, we don't want this. Okay. Let's do a top of 32. Width of 30 and a height of, there we go. Not negative 42, let's just do 42. There we go. Okay. Let's try to do the same thing. Make this right. Right. Negative 42. Cool. We're going to name these both red. Okay, so now we're on this top inside left. So you could think of each of these as like we're putting a sticker on the page. So this cover bottom trap sticker will be underneath this inside left rect. So we're kind of just putting all of these on top of each other. So the things at the bottom are actually the topmost elements on the page. And so that's why you have to do it in a certain order so that it actually covers up all of these things. Alright, so that does it for the mask on the top. So now we just have to do the stone, and then we're done. So it's hard to see what we're doing actually at this point. So, okay, let's get rid of this overflow hidden just for a second. There we go. Okay. Thank you for following along. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please leave a link to your project in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.